Hello and welcome to the Business Devil. In today's podcast we are going to talk about, ChatGPT again, but now in another way. So everyone knows that ChatGPT has a lot of benefits. If you use ChatGPT, you can use it as a simplified search browser. It's actually a very big competitor of Google, although you need to first go to a web source like Google to access it. But what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a code made a couple of years ago based on an algorithm. And until now, the only data that you have is from before 2021. So, what does this mean for corporations? Corporations like to use ChatGPT. Why? It simplifies their life, it simplifies their tasks. But it can't go too far, because if you go too far, you are in danger of getting fired. Everyone knows many companies have secret information, or as they say, NDA under corporate use. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. But that also goes for all of the materials that you need to prepare for instance, let's say a presentation. And that's where the point is. So many people use ChatGPT as a way to simplify their presentation. For instance, they say, okay, based on this information that I give you, you can create me a PowerPoint. And that's what actually happened at Samsung. Samsung, a very big corporation, had this fault happening to them. And it gave away their private information to the servers of ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT, although it only has data from 2021, all data that you personally put into it is also put in a database. So if someone were to ask, can I have the sales data of 2023 of Samsung for the first quarter, and someone at Samsung puts it in there, it's in the database. So they violated their own NDA from within their own company. And that's the downfall of ChatGPT. You have privacy issues. You can't use ChatGPT for everything. You need to know when to use it, for what to use it, and be sensible when you use it. So, what are the guidelines? And this comes from ChatGPT itself. So I asked ChatGPT, how do you work with sensitive information? And the answer is simple. ChatGPT only has data up to 2021. We do not have access to your private data that's on your computer, tablet or phone unless you literally type it into our search browser. But we want to tell people not to do this, as this is a privacy issue. It can cause major problems for your company, for your personal role within the company, etc. It's simple. If you put the data in there, it's your fault. So, coming back to this little podcast about the dangers of ChatGPT, the danger is you. It's the person who types in ChatGPT, who gives in the prompt, because they need to know that before they give in that prompt, can I give in this information? They still need to do their work, logical thinking. And that's something that many have forgotten. So I wanted to make this podcast short and simple, but to the point. When you use ChatGPT, know what data you put into it, because if you don't, you can get fired, you can get sued, and your company, it can go bankrupt if it's a major issue. That's the simplified version. As for next week's podcast, we are going to talk about the path I want to take for the near future and possibly even the longer future. I've done this after a lot of consideration and I wanted to share it to you all. So that will be next week's podcast. I hope you enjoyed this one, even though it was a little short, and see you next week. Bye.